to the Lumber Lounge and Garage JST Motorsports Bench Racing live shows. I forgot to put my hat on. I'm bald.
You are bald. You're summer cut. It looks like you're bald by choice.
It's definitely
Okay.
I will grab my hat in a second. But I wanted to get going. Sorry for the delay in time. We have obviously a new setup here. We got the red couch back in the show, so I hope everybody's excited about that because I know everybody's been asking where it's at. Literally.
Here it is.
So before I get my hat, like we do on every show, we welcome Zach Rowell to the show with Hasty Bake Grills, Charcoal Grills. We'll get with them in a minute, but we always cheers. So cheers, boys. Let's have a good show. Woody's already called. He's pissed off. He's not pissed off, but he loves it when I say that. So we're going to have a good show tonight. Welcome. Like I said, I'll grab my hat here in a minute because I got my special Kylitos and the salsas hat on tonight. So
good stuff.
I got to wear that for my guy. Yeah. So he started a band. It's called Kylito and the Salsas.
Really?
Yeah. So
check that out.
yeah, he actually plays guitar and lead singer. Oh. Yeah. I asked him if I could play more cowbell.
What was the answer?
He said, but I am on the album.
Okay, well, that's a start.
Yeah, so he called me and he said, hey man, I'm writing this song about my grandfather. He actually grew up in Oklahoma City area and he was a biker.
Yeah.
He goes, and I need a biker sound. Like I need a motorcycle sound. So I had my wife video me taking off on my Harley.
There you go.
Right with my phone right next to the pipes. And he used it in one of his songs, and so he put me on the back cover of the album.
Did you make the credits?
Yes.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, like I got invited to the album release. It's in June down in Austin.
Dang. That sounds like legit. Like entitled to royalty. Heck yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
He told me he wanted me to.
There you go.
And I will. I don't care.
Yeah.
I like riding. I cheers. So, we're back here at Bob's Turn 5 at Port City Raceway. Shane is back with us. He is back from Colorado. I hope you enjoyed your trip to Colorado with family.
Yep.
You got to ride on a train for a really long time.
Almost 10 hours. That's a long time. It was, dude, and it's like this.
Yeah, but I bet Lane.
Oh man. And the scenery there is unreal. Yeah. Well, the weather was good. Like we didn't have any rain hardly, and it wasn't too hot. No air conditioning on the train. So that is perfect. August might have been a little tough, but it was great. Scenery was fantastic. The little town of Durango where we stayed, really cool town.
It is.
And Silverton is like old school. Like we're eating lunch, and I'm like, I swear, White Earth's going to just ride down the road,
throw it down the street.
Yeah. So,
all those little Colorado towns are pretty cool. They're all
amazing.
kind of unique in their own way.
It's
really cool.
Yeah, it was worth the 12-hour drive.
There you go.
There and back, but it was a short, quick trip. Obviously, we had Memorial Day weekend off.
Yeah.
So we tried to plan our quick family vacations around all that, and it was good. Yeah,
That's awesome.
I got to see some pictures. It looked fun.
it was. It was definitely worth the trip. It's not like going to Florida and hanging out on the beach. It's not something that we'd probably do every year.
Right.
And we've obviously felt like Lane was at the right age to enjoy it, because who knows what he's going to be into in a couple of years. But
right.
Nixon, she tolerated it. She's like, it's all right. But so the town wakes up and goes to sleep to the train horn. Like the whole town is based around this train.
Really?
And it runs every single day. Unless the only time that it hasn't ran is with forest fires or with a huge amount of snow.
Yeah.
But at Christmas time, it turns into, oh, doggone it, my mind just went blank.
Like the Christmas train?
Yeah.
Like
Polar Express?
Polar Express. Gosh, dang, yes. So, and then everything is just based around this train. So, of course, when the horn starts blowing at 8 o'clock in the morning, Lane's like, are you kidding me? Like, what is that?
Yeah.
And he didn't know, right?
No.
That was a surprise for him.
Yeah, no, it's good. So
that's awesome.
It's fun. That's
cool.
That's awesome. I didn't do anything for Memorial Weekend. Raced. No, that was the week before. I didn't do anything.
Nothing?
No. Hung out with family.
There you go.
We had a big weekend this last weekend, though. We had my daughter's birthday party on Saturday.
I saw that.
That was when I sent you that picture of the bolognas and the dude, that Greek seasoning is love
It's
it.
a good one.
And we had a big 20-foot water slide and a bunch of kids.
There you go.
Yeah. It's a good time.
How was the water slide?
It was good, man. Like parents and adults got on it. I didn't, but neighbors did. It was good. My yard still recovering.
Oh yeah.
This little rain shower helped.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's I mean my yard's not level anyway, so
Yeah.
you know, she wanted beach themed.
There you go.
We talked about I think I fixed the echo, people. I hope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had one microphone still left on. But no, she said she wanted a beach theme, so I was like, I'll bring in some sand, put it around the base of the, water slide, and then use that to level my yard out. And after I built my wife's gardens, I didn't want to shovel anymore. So we're done there. So echo gone, perfect.
There we go.
So Zach, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule.
Sure.
I know this is actually, I didn't know this until a couple weeks ago that you do chase storms.
I do. Yeah.
And so we have some storms in Oklahoma right now.
I chased them right out of here just in time for us to start this podcast. So
See?
Yeah.
Team player.
That's it.
Team player.
Yeah.
You're looking at this.
So I do appreciate you. I know that you'd text me the other day and said, hey, man, I don't know if we can make it or not because of the deal. But been looking forward to this for
this is exciting. Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Dude, me and Shane, I think we surprise ourselves every week at how bad we are.
Oh shoot! Let's see if we can break some records tonight. Yeah.
Hey, if you want to break records, we gotta break Tanner Thorson's record.
We can
We had
at least
almost
give it the old college try.
We had almost 100 people watching at one time, and we hit like 8,000 views on his.
There you go.
Show. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
So this was before we had all this.
Yeah.
And so I used an iPad and just microphones.
Yeah.
Well, the iPad died.
We didn't know it.
We didn't
Didn't
know it.
It just kept rolling.
We just kept going, and then at the end, Brenton Marvel was like, "Yeah." Somebody texted me, was like,
You're
"Are
off.
you guys
You're
done?"
off
Like,
the
it was
air.
like 20 minutes after we. Yeah. So
That's great.
Tony
times.
Morris, what's up, Tony Morris? So what we always do here on the Lumber Lounge and Garage JST Bench Racing shows is we talk about a little bit of racing before we get into the gusto. I actually look at this. Got this little notebook.
Nice.
And I wrote down finishings and all such things. And you weren't here last week when I was very politically correct about my brother and about that. There was another show that was not politically correct and made it sound one-sided. I'm not gonna like.
I can tell you. So I'm friends with Scott, and I'm friends with Sam too.
Yep.
But we were watching it live when it happened, and of course Scott texted me the next day. He's like, "Man, was I really in the wrong?" And I'm like, "Man, I don't think you were. I think it was just we did the crossover, and then we're going down the back straightaway, and Scott thought he had him cleared." And in my mind, I told Scott, I said, "I think you thought I need to run the bottom because I'm thinking Sam is either going to try to slide me or he's going to run the bottom or run the top." And unfortunately, he was just not. Scott couldn't have seen him. Like
and Scott said that.
he
He
was
said, "I
far
couldn't
enough
see him."
forward ahead of him where when he went down, and that place is fast.
It's real
So
fast.
when you have a crazy crash like that, it makes it worse. And then, of course, Sam was mad, rightfully so, because when things happen like that and that type of speed, you're automatically going to assume that it's the other guy's fault,
Sure.
whether it was or not.
Yep.
It's just how it is, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And but hopefully after like watching videos and maybe studying a little bit, hopefully Sam realized like I don't like it wasn't an intentional thing. Like neither one of them guys are going to crash each other on the first lap of a race.
No.
So
No.
especially going that fast. And
Yes.
and I think it was just a timing thing. And timing was off, and unfortunately, it crashed a couple of really good cars. And
Yeah, a lot of them. Yeah, I know my brother's car's junk. I don't know if you know what we're talking about, but
Yeah.
you did see it.
I saw it.
Yeah, everybody saw the fights too. So but yeah,
But I mean, that's part of it. Like they're going to, of course, push that side.
I guess the only problem I have is that Sam was saying that it was 2-on-1 on the racetrack, and there was.
Talon didn't
help. My
nothing.
brother just pulled him off, and so whatever.
Yeah.
But anyway, it is what it is. Like I said last week on the show, it sucks that 2 good cars were tore up. I am glad that both of them are okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
First and foremost, because this is a dangerous sport we do. And so we'll move on. But I just had to say that I didn't really appreciate that it was said that, it was like 2-on-1. My brother doesn't need 2-on-1. So, but, and then, so obviously you weren't here last week for that. But moving on to this week, the Extreme Outlaw Midget Series was up at Coles County for the King of Coles. Yep. Doing a little knockoff of the old King's Royal. They got a crown. It's not as cool as yours.
Yeah.
Okay. The first night, Carter Starf won, which Carter Starf is just, he's so fast. So fast.
He is fast.
So fast. And then the second night, old Cannon McIntosh won. Mm-hmm. Our trifecta homies, they had Cameron Key finished third the first night, and Facento was in pace to finish on the podium the second night, just had a few mechanical issues. Okay. And then Jacob Denny took out Cameron on the last lap. I don't know if he took him out, but they made contact.
There you go.
They crashed. And so bittersweet weekend for our trifecta homies. They actually, I talked about it last week, they have Toyotas now. Mm-hmm. So, awesome. They have had a few issues in the past with their SR11s, which some people have, some people haven't. But they had someone step up and get some Toyotas for them. And
there you go.
So, I don't know. Maybe
got to be on the even.
Maybe that's a ticket.
Playing
even
field.
keel. Yeah. But I've seen SR11s. I mean, look what Tanner's done with his SR11. I mean, he's it's a preference. Yeah. They're just super expensive. But, the World of Outlaws were at River Cities on Friday, and I want your opinion on River Cities because I've heard that that's a lot of people's favorite racetrack.
It's pretty good. River Cities is tough because there's no walls except front straightaway. Mm-hmm. Always gets treacherous around the top of the track in qualifying and in race conditions. And typically, the guy that can move around the most and can navigate around the bottom always wins that race. Yeah. And Donnie Schatz is the master there. I mean, like he even proved it the other night. Like I don't remember where he started, but it was towards the back and ended up running third.
Yeah, he was on the podium. Yeah.
But it's definitely one of the better racetracks. It's great shaped. But what makes it unique is it's really high banked with no walls.
Yeah.
And
so like Salina.
It's like Salina, but like not quite as banked, and then way smaller.
Smaller.
It's just like a true quarter mile.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it puts a really good race on.
Yeah.
Buddy Kofoid won.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they had late models there, and the track ended up taking a little bit of rubber towards the end, and they worked it before the Outlaw feature. But it's just, man, being a track guy, like it'd be so hard to get the track right for that many sprint cars and late models.
It's tough. Yeah.
Because either your track's going to be terrible at the beginning and good late, or vice versa. So,
right.
Yep.
But it's a great facility, well maintained.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely a gym.
Woody's favorite driver, David Gravel, ran second.
Yeah. Woody loves David.
Woody loves David. And then the second night was at Red River. It was it didn't really say, but it was kind of the Danny Schatz Memorial, right?
Yeah, they called it the Danny Schatz Memorial.
But on their website, it wasn't. It was something else. But anyway, I seen it. They did the pace lap with with Danny or Donnie's nieces and all that. And so Sheldon won there.
Yep. And that's a unique place too. Same thing. Like no walls, not very banked. Pretty similar fairgrounds track, but not like a half mile. Yeah. Front straightaway wall. It always puts on good races too.
What is
and
that?
Danny was always involved with that.
Yes.
With that track.
Huge. Yes. Yeah. So. And his nieces, I can never pronounce her last name. It starts with an E. I know that.
And it's an S, right?
It's EISC. I don't know. Anyway, I can't pronounce them. But they run 305s there, and then the NASA series they run up there a lot. And
They're in everything. They're late models and
no NASA NOSA.
yeah, but I'm saying the nieces run late models.
Oh,
and sprint cars
the
and-
nieces. Yeah. They run. Yeah.
But you're saying what runs there weekly?
Yeah. Because Dobmeyer runs up there.
Oh yeah.
Stuff like
I'm
that.
with you.
Yeah. But yeah, they're his nieces. I can never pronounce how to say them. Anyway, but they're actually pretty good. One of them, the second night, one of them raced a sprint car and the other one raced a late model.
Yeah. It's
Like, they
nice.
didn't want-
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah.
Good for them.
And then I kind of wanted to bring up because he actually has been pretty fast here lately. Is Zach Hampton?
Yeah.
You know, I mean he flipped his dick off at Port Royal, but
I feel like
he
that
went quick time the other night.
Yeah.
He actually they made the trip to Weichert to do that and was fast.
Mm-hmm.
I think him and Bill Rose have something figured out. You know what I mean?
I hope they do because
Yeah.
Bill deserves it, man.
Oh,
Like,
Bill's such a
listen,
good
like,
guy.
Yeah, and he's like Jason Sides. He's been out there forever. And
Yep.
He's supplying a car for another driver to drive, and they deserve success. It's not cheap. It's not easy. It's a lot of work to put yourself out there on the line to do that series. And Zach, I mean, he doesn't come with a lot of experience, and he comes with a lot of heart, though.
Yeah, he works. He's a worker.
And
He's a worker.
that's what it's all about. That's how I got my start.
There you go.
I honestly got my first full-time ride outside of my dad's car because I worked hard. It wasn't, yes, I had a little bit of talent, but at that time I didn't know how much talent I had. And the guy that hired me didn't know either.
Yeah.
Right.
But he was willing to give me a chance because he knew I wasn't going to go to sleep during the car wash.
Well, and that's kind of,
or whatever.
When we did have Tanner on, that was the reason that Rod Gross went with him. He's like, because he said Rod seen me as a worker.
Yeah.
He seen me work on my stuff. So, I mean, there's still something to that, kids.
That's right.
Yeah.
There's still something to that.
No, you
you
gotta
still
work,
need to
man.
work.
You gotta work.
Dustin Tessier, what's up, brother? Randall McRoberts, how are you, sir? Okay. And then
Speaking of Dustin,
Dustin Tessier, he got hurt.
Dustin broke his it's the bones that kind of surround your tailbone. I got it on my phone, but they actually put a couple rods through those bones. He crashed, just landed, just a freak thing out here. Yeah. And he's doing pretty good.
Good.
We've been keeping in touch with him, and
that's good.
It's,
Yeah.
I can tell you right now, the night that it happened, he was in some serious pain. And we got him in his wife's Tahoe, and she was going to take him. And then we're like, no, like, you're not. We can tell you're not comfortable.
You need an
so,
ambulance.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we called the ambulance,
Sure.
and they ended up taking him to the hospital. And they said the bottom of his spinal cord was just in there.
Just kind of hanging out.
Dangling.
Like a tail.
Yeah. So
He had a tail for a minute.
Yeah, good to hear that he's
Sacrum.
recovering.
Yeah.
So
Dustin said the sacrum.
Sacrum. There you go. Yeah. So good to see that. He's
good to see.
recovering.
Yeah. You showed me that picture. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Terry Clausen, what's up? How are you guys? He said, "What's up, gentlemen?"
Yes. What's up?
And then High Limit. They got rained out at Lawrenceburg, which I was very disappointed in that. I love Lawrenceburg.
Yeah.
Got rescheduled,
Shane
though.
loves. It did get rescheduled.
Yes. Yes. I don't know what date, but it did get rescheduled.
Shane loves Lawrenceburg.
Yeah. No,
With a wing.
With a wing.
And then they went over to Butler. That's in Michigan, right?
Yep.
Yep. And Justin Peck got another win.
Justin Peck is on it.
Yeah,
man.
he is.
Yeah, he won up in New York, and
Yeah.
he won,
Yeah. It's exciting.
Same thing, man. Like, God bless Kevin Redeem, right? Like,
Yes.
the dude's like throwing so much money at sprint car racing, whether it's the team sponsoring events, sponsoring the events that I've promoted, being involved with Port City, what he's done at Skagit, and for him to finally have some success is awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, like there's not a guy out there that's not more generous with his money
Yeah.
than Kevin Reed.
Oh well, I mean,
So
the Rudine rate.
to see him finally start winning some races, and
Yeah.
dude, makes my heart happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And You know, the Race Redeem Foundation race got postponed tonight at 141 Speedway to Thursday night, right?
Yep.
So the big news out of Butler, though, is Tyler Courtney took over the points lead because old Ginger Kitty Brad Sweet
missed the
didn't
scales.
miss the scales.
Yeah.
So
He had a flat though, right?
I don't know the whole story because I didn't get to watch it, right? I was racing out at Creek with Garth.
Yeah.
And it just, you know, all of a sudden, you know, the social world started blowing up. But it had something to do with a flat tire and the flags.
Well, so
And
the flagman misjudged the number of laps.
Yes,
But I
did hear
think what
that.
threw Brad off the most was from what I didn't see it either. He had a flat, and then he didn't think he ran top 3. I think that's what happened. And then he just went back to his trailer. He's like, I didn't run top 3. So,
But let me ask you this, though. Do they not say top 3 to the scales?
I mean, typically, yeah.
But did they give the car numbers? Like,
Yeah, I mean,
Typically that's what happens,
That's what
right?
I would
yeah,
assume.
so I
Yeah.
that I don't know, and I didn't see the race.
So
I was
that
just
person
kind of
got
reading
fired.
between the lines.
Correct.
Yeah, I didn't read between the lines, but yeah, no,
I
it's tightened up the points.
Dude, yeah. And I didn't hear, why was Chase Rodham not announcing?
I didn't hear that either. I
I
don't
know Tony Laporta was up in the booth.
Yeah.
Oh, he was in the booth?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah, Chase wasn't there for some reason. Hopefully something, not anything bad. And maybe he just had to, schedule something else.
Laporta's moving on up. Literally.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
he used to be that guy.
He used to
with
be that
USAC.
guy. Yeah.
Yeah. But
At USAC. For USAC. Speaking of USAC, the Midget Week started tonight at Circle City.
yeah,
Obviously don't know nothing about it.
I always liked Speed Weeks. I always felt like Speed Weeks brought out the true teams, the true the guys that were in good shape, because it's you race pretty much every night.
Yeah.
I remember
Dude.
doing Ohio Speed Week with Junior Holbrook and a guy named Larry Wood, and this is no joke. We literally started the week with a trailer full of tires, and this trailer was not fancy whatsoever. We were in a U-Haul truck that had been converted into this makeshift motorhome, which wasn't very fancy at all. And every night we would flip a quarter. Okay, what are we going to buy, a left rear tire or a right rear tire? And we smoked them.
Really?
Nice.
We
That's
won
awesome.
Ohio Speed Week
Nice.
with that organization. I'm telling you, we were so fast. I don't even know why or how, but from the first night we were money. But anyway, yeah, it was fun. It was a fun week. It was a super stressful week because I'm like, crap, if we break a motor or something crazy happens, we're going to be done. But
No extras.
yeah, and
no
we had no extras. But it's good. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember my first Speed Week was with ASCS, but that was back when it was,
Tough.
Friday night was Memphis Motorsports Park. Saturday
Hot,
night
too.
was West Memphis, Arkansas. Sunday was Fort Smith.
Yeah.
Monday off. Sunday off. Anyway, went Tulsa and then Lawton, and then we went Devil's Bowl, Little Rock. Like it was just like boom, 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 and it's just like
Dude, it's always super hot. But
middle of July.
I always felt Speed Weeks were always a good testament to good preparation, organization, and then just who's in the best shape.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of Speed Week, Sooner 600 Speed Week was canceled,
Yeah, unfortunately it was. Yeah.
but we got weather coming in.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
So
and they reschedule it to later on in
the
end
hot
of July.
time of the year.
There you go.
But it'll be fine. It'll be good.
The Outlaws will be at Jackson next,
Hopefully.
hopefully. Plymouth after that, Beaver Dam, and then Angel Park. It's so crazy. I've been to Angel Park, and to actually think of wing sprint car races there is insane.
It's good.
It's good racing, but like the first time I went there with Donnie Ray Crawford and the whole it was Donnie Ray, Matt Sherrill, and Gary Taylor back when the Telstar cars. And I'm like, there's no way. Like USAC sprint cars were there, but non-wing, right? And I'm like, there's no way wing cars race here. And then you watch the IRA, and it's like really good racing.
Yeah.
So
Cool place too.
High Limit, obviously 141 got postponed until Thursday night for the Race Rudine Foundation race. And then they will be at Red Cedar, somewhere in Wisconsin. I've never heard of it. And then they're at Eagle next Tuesday.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, Eagle's always awesome.
I know my brother
bad
didn't
race
plan on
there.
going there.
Yeah.
So,
Not a bad race at Eagle.
and then obviously midget week is this week. So, that was on my notes for racing.
Yeah.
One other thing I didn't write down is there was a comeback this weekend on Saturday night at Placerville. Tyler Walker was back in a sprint car.
You know
I
what's
saw
crazy
that.
is
That's cool.
I told Jen, I'm like, I could have swore that he was standing next to Bud Kading with a back brace on.
He was.
Okay, but did he not post that he had a broken back and ribs?
He got cleared from his doctor to race. So he was on the Chaz the other night.
Yeah.
And he was supposed to wait 2 weeks.
Yeah.
He didn't.
He did.
Wow.
But he was in one of Torgeson's cars.
Yeah, yeah.
And it had a 360. It was against the NARC. And he even said that on an interview. He goes, I'm just trying to get my feet wet, get back into it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's cool to see.
Yeah.
Hey, just a simple fact that he's clean, right?
Yeah, I was going to say that he's still around.
I raced with Tyler in his prime with the Gum Out Series, and the year that he won the Gum Out Series, I bet I ran second to him at least 20-something times.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fast.
Like him and Ricky were unreal. Some people forget about this race. It rained at Oklahoma City. One of the last races we had at the fairgrounds on the half mile. It was my first race that I had with Scott Chilcutt in the 4M car, and I ran sixth that night at the Outlaw race. And I mean, the race starts and it's super heavy and choppy, and we're pulling tear-offs, and your neck's hanging out the right side of your car. And Tyler freaking rips around me with a couple laps to go. And so anyway, I come in and Rob Hart was my crew chief. I'm like, Tyler Walker won? And Rob's like, yeah. And I'm like, he just passed me with like a couple laps to go. And Rob said, no, he was lapping you. And I'm like, dude, I'm telling you, I was going flat out as fast as I could for 30 laps or whatever it was. And he's like, no, dude, he lapped you. And I'm like, what?
Yeah. And that's big on the half mile
Another
there.
crazy story about Tyler. So I go Silver Crown race at Memphis. Green flag drops. Tyler he's in the Mopar car with Willie Kane.
Mm-hmm.
The right front shock spring or something screws up, so he pulls in and he goes like 2 or 3 laps down, maybe 4 laps down. I don't even know. Dave still ended up winning the race. Dude, Tyler unlapped himself.
Jeez.
Like,
No kidding.
and ended up on the lead lap.
Wow.
And so like
He's so fast. He was
the
fast.
the stories and the things that I saw, and then to see him go through all that stuff is just. You wanted to stranglehold him.
Yeah, some of it was self-inflicted. I mean, all of it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but hey, man, like,
But you know what?
Unfortunately, he had an addiction, and he's been fighting it, and hopefully,
I think
he
he's got some
stays
good.
clean.
I think he's got some
Yeah.
good people in his corner.
Hope so.
I'm pretty sure that the whole like getting with the Torgesons is with Lee Lindgren because him and Lee have been friends for years.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and it's good to see the racing community behind him and really wanting him to
He had
do
a lot of
better.
fans.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw like all the because I was watching some of that stuff, and all like the social media stuff and everything was all positive, which I thought was really really cool.
Yep.
because
He just-
you know
He
you gotta
had
say all
he
the
always had
comments.
a good vibe about him. He was a really clean racer. He was super fast. You know, not many guys can get out of their car and do a freaking backflip on their head.
Right.
And he was just that. He just had that. That this thing around him that people just cling to.
Sure.
And yeah, shame that he went through all that. But hopefully this is.
I think when he,
positive for him.
last year he started reaching out for help on Facebook Live, and
yeah, I
I
saw
know
those
a few,
videos.
I know a few people.
But then
was
it
like,
kind of
"Hey,
went
reach out to
quiet,
me."
and you're like, oh crap,
Yeah,
did
what
he actually
happened?
get help or?
And he did. I knew kind of behind the scenes a few people that helped him, and
That's
I think
good.
you did too, and got him in some rehab, and so it's good to see.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because when he was driving the Gum Out deal, wasn't that a team based out of Oklahoma?
It was Wally Ledford.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that 35 car, I'm telling you, super fast.
Yep.
He was good.
Speaking of
A lot of
Lakeside,
talent.
the first time I seen Tyler race was at Lakeside.
Really?
And this is when I wasn't really a kid, but I grew up there, and so I would sit up on the hill on Friday nights, and this was before I started working on race cars. And I'll never forget it. We're sitting there on the hill, and Tyler comes out for qualifying, and he's coming down the front stretch, and is he going to turn?
Yeah.
Is he going to turn? Oh,
Yeah.
he turned.
Yeah.
You know, and I think he was first out for qualifying, so I don't think it was just Tyler. It would have been
Right.
anybody, right? But like,
Right.
holy
Yeah.
crap, you know what I mean? And so I think he ended up winning that night too.
Yeah.
But man, what a great talent, and glad to see that he is back in the sport. Hope he keeps up with the things that he's doing.
Right.
Another thing before we get into you
Yeah.
is Ryan Timms is on fire.
It is.
Yeah.
Hey, but you know what? Kudos to Ryan, and kudos to that 10 car. That 10 car has been fast for a couple years, no matter who's in it.
Mm-hmm.
And they've got a great package, and I think everybody kind of knew that Ryan had the talent and to do good things in that car. So yeah, it's great to see. Yeah. Port City graduate.
Port City graduate.
Yeah.
He won Friday night in the 360 at Knoxville, Saturday in the 410 at Knoxville, and Sunday in the 410.
Against
Tough
good
crowd.
group of like a good group of cars. Yeah, those were not easy wins by any means. So
No, I mean, just the 360 class alone at Knoxville is hard to beat.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Clint Gardner, you got all these guys that have been racing there for years.
Yeah.
You know, and then the 410s, you got Austin McCarl, you got Brian Brown, you got, Carson McCarl. I mean, just good cars throughout. I mean, Scott, obviously. Scott won in the 10 car last year at Knoxville, and it's just cool to see.
Yeah.
Chase Rodham had a wedding
oh,
to
there you go.
attend. Who gets married during race season?
I'm telling you, they're not very good friends.
Idiots.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Idiots.
I'd have been like, man, listen, you're gonna have to have
I
a cardboard
did.
cut out of me.
That's
I
right.
ain't gonna make it.
I got married during race season. But it was April 15th, so I was like shooting my shot for rain.
Yeah. There you go.
Yep. Anyway, so now on to Mr. Zach Rowell.
Yeah.
Mr. Hasty Bake himself.
Yeah.
If you do not know who Zach is, he is a sprint car fan,
Yeah. Racing fan. I
fan,
love all
dirt track
kinds,
fan,
but
right?
Yeah.
I was fortunate enough to meet you this year because of Shane. You helped us out at the Chili Bowl,
Yeah.
and we did a giveaway with you, and then I got to hang out with you up, of course, the night that Tanner wins and the night you
Yeah.
sponsored. So
Yeah,
that
that
was
was
pretty
cool.
epic to
That
be
was
up there.
awesome.
He grabbed me. Shane grabbed me. I think with like 1 to go or something, and was like, this never
happens.
This
No.
never happens. And I needed that to happen.
Yeah.
Right. I had written a lot of verbal checks,
Right.
and I needed that to cash.
Yeah.
So, and
What?
your
Your ass cashed it.
that's it. And everybody knows Tanner, and so I that morning or something, I sent him a text and was like, "I'm gonna need you to win tonight." And he,
No pressure.
and he waits like it was like an hour or two, and you never tell like because race day like I wasn't gonna go see him because I know he's like locked in, and
Right.
he just texts me back, "That's the plan," and I'm like, okay,
All right.
as long as we're on the same page here.
Yep, we got the
So,
playbook.
Yeah, I think it was like the last lap, and he was like, "This never happens."
No.
So because I wanted to be able to go back to Rich,
Yeah.
and be like, "Look, it's super easy, man.
Right.
We just
It's got to sponsor a good car, and
yeah, that's it.
sponsor the night at the Chili Bowl, and
Yeah.
your car wins. Like,
Exactly.
it's just how it's supposed to be.
Exactly. There's Hasty Bake everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, everywhere. I mean,
Yeah.
and of course, Tanner puts on his Hasty Bake hat, and the very first thing he says is, "I want to thank Hasty Bake."
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
man.
So it just
Yeah.
worked out.
Yeah.
And that was
Well,
that
so
was awesome.
so kind of explain a little bit of like the background of
Yeah.
Hasty Bake. I mean, obviously Hasty Bake's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
But in our world, the racing world, like your tenacity and your love of racing has like really kind of pushed
yeah.
and being involved with the high limit races. And,
Right.
And so to me, that's really cool.
Yeah.
But like Hasty Bake's been around for a long time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So we've been around Hasty Bake has been around since 1948. We're the oldest charcoal grill manufacturer in the country. We predate Weber. Anybody.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So our founder, Grant Hastings, was overseas in World War II and dreaming about cooking ribs,
As he's shooting people.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. And
That's awesome.
and so he, basically sat there in World War II while he was deployed and noodled on this, and came home and made a Hasty Bake. And so a couple of the big things that set our grills apart, it's got a ventless hood on it. You see a lot of the Webers and things like that where it's got the vent on top. So basically what happens is the smoke goes in and it goes straight out. With the ventless hood, what happens is the your smoke travels over like this and out underneath the cooking surface. So it turns it into a convection cooker. Everybody's got that convection button on their oven that they never use. But that gets you a better smoke, better bark over the whole thing, and it's going to speed up your cook time.
Nice.
The other thing that our grills have is the ability to raise and lower the firebox.
Yep.
So it's extremely versatile. So if you want to, bring your fire all the way up and be able to grill steaks, you can do that. You can drop it all the way down and put a heat deflector on and be able to smoke all in the same unit. So with ours, you don't have to have, a grill and a smoker and a griddle and all that. You've got it all right there. But so yeah, we've been around since 1948. And so like when Weber wanted to come in and start putting a hood on a grill and things like that, they had to reference our patents and things like that.
Wow.
So that's pretty cool. Obviously, Weber got a lot bigger, a lot quicker. And
don't get me wrong, I've cooked on a Weber.
Sure.
I mean,
For sure.
Yeah. I think where what I think is cool is like you guys say charcoal grill, but it's not just a charcoal grill. And I mean, you just explained it like you can do everything on this.
That's
thing.
That's it. And I mean, for me, one of the biggest things. And I love Hasty Bake, obviously, but one of the coolest things and the biggest flag that I'll carry around is they're still made here in America
100%.
By American steel, by American labor, and that's not going to change. And that's one of the coolest things. Mm-hmm. So it's funny. Chili Bowl is a great example. We get people in from all over the country, all over the world, and they'll come into the store and because we've got a small retail store there, and then they're asking about how they're built, and we're like they're made on the other side of the wall right here.
Yeah.
And they're like,
Every
are
piece.
you
They're
serious?
made down there on Lewis.
Yeah. And we're like, yeah, no, they're made right there, and they're like, that's crazy because you don't don't see that everywhere anymore.
Nope.
So that's something that we're still extremely proud of.
Absolutely.
I would be too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I met the owner Richard through our acquaintance Kenny. And so
Kenny.
So Kenny brought Richard out to it was a shootout, I think, and he got him a 2-seater ride.
Yeah.
Right. And of course, Richard's like, "Oh yeah, like that was pretty cool." And so one
then he
thing
had to
led
get
to another,
out.
and then Richard ended up stealing Kenny from me, which I still cuss him for. But
Yeah.
But Richard's just like he's getting into it now.
He is. So
I feel like just your repetitiveness and like you just going into him saying, "Hey, this racing world is they're if they see something and they like it, they're gonna buy it." And
so I've been affiliated with Hasty Bake for I think it's about 10 years now. I can't do the math, but I was a brand ambassador for them. So I'd show up and I'd cook at events, do tailgates and this and that, and I'd teach classes for them. And then, 3 or 4 years ago now, I can't remember when, but they called me and wanted me to come over there full time. And I was like, this is a pretty unique opportunity to get to go do something
that you love.
And it's, it's still, in the grand scheme of things, it's still a pretty small company. And so I went over there, and as soon as I got there, and I'd been saying it before then, but I didn't really have like a voice. And so as soon as I got in the front door, I was like, why are we not involved in racing?
Yeah.
And I said, Chili Bowl is one of the biggest things going on, and it's in our backyard, and we're not doing anything. And so for the first couple of years, I'm just like, I'm trying to find my spot. Mm-hmm. And you know, really, the first entrance was you know, we had done some stuff out here,
Right.
you know, just cooking,
Right.
but no like real sponsorship things. And I know like several years ago, Richard had sponsored Herrera's car at the Chili Bowl, but that was kind of it. And so I'm like trying to pick my spot, and then the very first year of High Limit comes around, and it was like a 10 race deal.
Yep.
And it was just kind of, you know, like I had this way in because I knew Dylan Welch, and that was kind of the way in. And I don't even remember how much it was. In the grand scheme of things, it was not a lot of money, but I was like, oh my gosh. And I remember I talked to you about it, and I was like, I'm gonna have to have Shane come help me sell this. Like, and I was talking to Kenny. I was like, we've got to get Richard on board and all this. So, anyways, we got it done, and like we just did our third year with High Limit and all that.
And you were the official sponsor of the race. there in
Yeah,
May,
first
which was
time to be a
awesome.
title sponsor. But the coolest thing and the biggest thing that I've got to take back is, you know, we track all kinds of analytics, right, and data and everything like that, and you know, we review it on about a monthly basis, and racing and dirt racing interests are two of our top conversions.
Yeah.
And that's a home run.
Yeah.
Because then I can go, hey, it's not just the racing guy wanting to go be on a fast race car.
Yeah.
And be a part of it, because I want to do all that stuff, and I want to do all kinds of stuff, but it's got to make sense.
At the end of the day, those are your customers.
That's it.
Right? Like racing people love to hang out on their back patios and barbecue. And,
That's it.
I mean, look at the
And,
tailgaters at NASCAR races.
Yeah.
Well, and so it's funny because last year when we were up there for Lakeside, the NASCAR race was the next day, and I talked to JP, and I was like, hey, I want to take some of these guys. They've never seen, they don't have a clue about like what a NASCAR race looks like. And so I took them, and as soon as we got into the infield, and you just see all those Class A motorhomes, I mean, just everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere. And they're like, oh my gosh. And there's not a car hadn't even turned a wheel or anything. Like, and that, really what I wanted them to see was just that. I wanted them to see, you know, see all that. And
There's
so,
a market.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
There's a market. Yeah.
And so, but you know, now I'm greedy, and I want to go do all of it, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like you said, it still has to make sense.
Right.
But like you guys are going down the right path, and
I mean,
you know, the baby steps are now turning into a little bit bigger steps, and it's, you know, and you don't have a bigger advocate than Kenny, right? Like Kenny loves racing.
Yes.
He's like that with Richard,
right.
And he like you guys are just, you're doing a great job, and obviously it's a great company, and Hasty Bake as a whole like is way more than just grills.
Yes.
But the grill side of it is what obviously you're involved with,
Right.
And
Yeah, it's the
you've
fun
been doing a
side
great
of
job,
it.
man.
Well, thank you.
So-
and just in 3 years, like what you've done is
I mean,
awesome.
if you'd have told me 3 years ago that we would have, you know, done the stuff with High Limit, and that we were, you know, a title sponsor of a prelim night at Chili Bowl, I'd have told you you're insane.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
But it's a passion.
yeah.
Yeah,
And I
that's
mean,
So okay, well, so I guess my question is you know, why racing for you, right? Like, what's your background with racing?
yeah. So I had a brief iRacing career, pretty good at it.
So did I.
Pretty good at it. Notable. You know, I was pretty good on dirt. I beat Denny Hamlin on dirt.
In a street stock or like what?
No, it was a sprint car.
All right.
Nice.
All right.
I
all right,
beat.
that's nice.
I did beat. So my two claim to fames on dirt at Eldora. I beat Baston,
Nice.
and I beat Tyler Courtney.
That's awesome.
Oh,
Not in the
right.
same
You beat
race,
Sunshine
but
too?
dude, I mean, I screen captured like all of it. I was like, I'm saving this.
That's so good.
I thought about like printing it out and taking it to him one day, be like, hey, can I get you to autograph this,
Dude,
Yeah.
But
Let's do it.
yeah.
that would be awesome.
But so grew up. So my dad is who got me into racing. He doesn't race. He's a retired fireman. But he used to go up to Indy and would go to Indy almost every year. And so I grew up watching like the 80s and 90s Indy cars. Like that's where I fell in love with racing. In fact, the first race like that I saw live was the Indy 500.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So,
Awesome.
so like I was ruined.
So I say you're spoiled
Oh, yeah,
from day one.
Yeah. So 10 years old.
And back then, that was like real racing.
Oh man,
Yeah.
it was incredible. Just
Now it's not follow the lap car, so you
so
win. Anyway.
my dad's got some amazing. So my dad also did a ton of photography, and he was like 20 rows up when Mears caught on fire in like 81 or whatever that was, and he's just got some incredible pictures.
That's
of
awesome.
like. So I grew up on IndyCar. That was my whole thing, and back when like IndyCar was like really, really, the thing. And so those are my heroes. And in fact, like, I get to meet drivers all the time, and like, most of the time, I don't mess with pictures or autographs, but there's one guy that I would just like if he walked in right now, and that's Rick Mears.
Yeah.
Like
Ooh,
he's
cool.
the coolest dude to me.
Yeah,
Still
yeah.
is.
Yep. I've met him a couple times. He's a genuine guy.
Yeah. Like
He's like Jeff Gordon, like real true.
Yeah.
Like just a good dude.
But so got into IndyCar and really watched that, like growing up as a kid, and then started just doing stuff around here, watching stuff. My buddy Alan, his family, all is kind of intertwined in the families here, and started going to racing with him, and then started in. So I think next year will be my 21st year of going to Chili Bowl every single night.
Nice.
And once we started going,
You're hooked.
haven't missed a night.
Well, you got good seats, so
I do have good seats,
Yeah.
thankfully.
Yeah.
They're graciously given to me every
Right.
year, but they are pretty unbeatable seats.
yeah.
Yeah, like it's hard to say, like, well, they have suites at the Chili
Yeah.
Bowl, and they're just grandstands, but like just standing up there, you can see everything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, you don't miss
Everything.
nothing.
No.
You don't miss nothing.
No.
Everything.
But so that's really it, and just a fan of watching racing, man. I love it. I'll watch two turtles race if we've got a couple,
that's right.
but
I'm sure there's like on the Ocho or something they have.
Oh yeah, I'm
something
sure they
like
do.
But I'll watch any kind of racing. I love all forms of racing, and but my favorite is sprint cars, dirt cars. Like that's it for me. So
Yeah.
That's kind of how I am, right?
Yeah.
Like I love sprint cars. My
Yeah.
dad raced them. I grew up on them, but I like a good late model race. I like
Sure.
a good midget race. A good race is a good race to me.
Yeah, I mean, the perfect thing for me would be if we could go back to the way USAC used to be, where they were all trying to get to Indy.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
it's just not like that anymore.
It's
That's
not.
why, like,
Too much money involved.
that's why, like, seeing what Kyle's doing, and like it's incredible. It's incredible.
I don't know if you guys saw the interview with Justin Marks, but Justin was, so the day that I met Justin and then the whole LMR thing started, like he was just switched on to how the racing business works. And he literally had this like conversation with this guy that was asking him a question about the double.
Yeah.
And Justin was like, NASCAR and IndyCar need to somehow figure out how to make this whole thing work and not be on top of each other, because it is like
so
it
special.
it makes people, it just like brings
It
people together, right?
cross-pollinates.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
does. And Justin he just gets it. He gets the business model of it. And everything that he said in that little short answer to that guy's question was just so spot on. And it sucks because Kyle, him and McLaughlin, I guess, had this little interchange.
Yeah.
Because Kyle was like he was getting mad.
Right.
Because he had this
had to go.
50-minute window that if the race didn't start, he wasn't going to be able to make all the laps. Of course, he ended up crashing. But, just everything has to work.
It's
Just
so tight.
tight, yeah. And Justin's like, it shouldn't be that way.
Right.
It doesn't need to be that way. And but
So what, do we do the Coke 600 on Saturday?
no, I just think you do the Coke 600 on Monday.
Yeah, I mean, just a different day.
Yeah, on a different day, and or whatever. I know the logistics is tough, and there's just so much put into it, and but like he's like that needs to happen, and it needs to happen
you're not
to
gonna
where
move the
you can
Indy
make
500.
it. You can make it justifiable because, dude, like getting airplanes and helicopters and getting all this money wrapped up into it, like it's not like
I mean,
not too many people can do it.
It makes for good TV.
Oh, it's unreal.
Yeah.
I've followed the Indianapolis 500
whole
for
time.
the last 2 years.
Only because of Kyle.
I
Larson.
mean,
you go.
because of Larson.
Yeah.
And I know what thousands of others have done the same.
I mean,
Um,
but if they, to your point, if they would do that, like how many more guys? I mean,
There would be, and that's Justin's thing is like, I think there would be more people try to make it work
yeah,
because at the end of the day, those guys are all committed to NASCAR.
Right.
And the IndyCar guys are all committed to Indy. But if you could figure out a way to do the timing
Right.
to where maybe some of the IndyCar guys would be like, you know what, like I can drive a NASCAR.
Right.
And by God, there's a lot of them that could.
right.
And be fast in a NASCAR.
You know, the other thing is like, and you know, I just remember from like when I was a kid, but you know, I don't even bump day isn't really bump day anymore.
like it used to
there's
be.
there's not 40 or 50
Well,
cars
when they
showing
changed
up.
when they changed the format to now it's like the top 12 and then
The
like
6 or whatever.
and so it's not really the same. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
But things change. I mean, it is what it is. I get it, but I remember when my dad watching Bump Day when I was a kid.
Right. Oh,
Dude,
yeah,
it was like
huge.
super stressful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, they're going out every other,
Yeah.
every
Come in, cool them out.
Yes, yeah. As soon as it come in, it cool them off, and we're going right
And
back
send it
out.
back out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the guys that would make it like at the last second, man, just
It's like
to
they
see
won.
them so happy. You're just like, oh man,
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I just,
I wonder what it pays to start.
it's like 250,000.
I think it's,
That's like not even a tire, probably.
No, dude, no.
No,
It's no different than any other. Form of racing.
Yeah.
Like, but
I
still,
mean, really, the
you
team
know?
that wins probably are the only ones that make any kind of money. But
It's not about the money,
no,
man.
it never.
Yeah,
is.
'cause forever after
motorsports
that-
is never about the money.
No, it's about the trophies.
Yeah.
It's about the recognition. It's about
The
the,
guys that are
legacies.
successful in it, like Mr. Hendrick, he'll tell you, like my race teams haven't made money in years.
Right.
Like it's not about that for me.
Well,
and,
and you
and,
look at
and,
some-
and Roger Penske's the same.
yeah. You look at like Gene Haas, like I think he went into Formula One knowing like
I'm gonna
this
get my
is not profitable.
No, I'm getting my butt kicked too.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
and it's I don't know. It's like you can sit here, Shane, as a racer, you can tell me that, or you probably couldn't tell me the most money you ever won in one race, but you can tell me your favorite trophy,
well, I could tell you the races I lost.
right?
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
No,
it's. I don't know. It's just like the driller at the Chili Bowl. I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
No.
Right.
It's the driller.
Right.
You know, I mean, Knoxville Nationals. Yeah, the money's great.
Yeah.
Right.
It's the Knoxville Nationals.
Right.
Kings Royal. It's the Kings
Yeah.
Royal.
Yeah.
And now you got races like the Weikert and,
Right.
and all these these races that now
Yeah.
obviously the Crown Jewels, right?
Right.
And they're paying better, but they're starting to get more predominance where it's like, yeah, I want to win that race.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. No, the money's gone before you enter the pits.
Oh,
at the end of
absolutely.
the day. But
Absolutely.
yeah, no, but man, 350,000 people at Indy
It's crazy.
this year.
It's crazy.
I've never been.
That's nuts.
It's an incredible place to see. Like
Oh,
and they're you know, so the last time I've been up there, Alan and I went up for one of the NASCAR races, one of the ones that Stewart won. But he's never been to Indy, and I'm like,
There's no comparison.
No, it's not even
Yeah.
kind of close.
No.
Um,
The NASCAR
Yeah.
doesn't bring the people like Indy cars do.
No.
And it's just speed,
yeah.
right? Like people love speed. It's the same thing that we've had over all these years with 360 and 410.
Yeah.
People love to watch things go fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's why drag racing's popular.
Yeah.
Like going from 0 to 300 and freaking something god awful mile an hour. Like
And,
people love that.
Like
Yeah.
4 seconds.
Yeah.
No. And Indy cars around Indy is way
It's
better
just
to watch
incredible.
than NASCAR. But
One
yeah,
of these days I'll get to go.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it's
good.
It's awesome. So I'd love to get back to that, where you see a guy in USAC, you know,
Yeah.
just trying to get
Yeah.
to Indy.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah,
Do
because
we-
you're
do
right.
you-
Because that was a stepping stone for a long time.
Right.
Like they would race the sprint car, and then they'd go to the Silver Crown.
Yeah.
And then, AJ and
Mario
and
Even,
Joe Saldana and
even
Parnelli.
Tony
and,
Stewart did that.
Yeah,
you know?
Tony Stewart. Yeah, no, you're right. It was definitely a huge stepping stone.
Yeah.
Do you think it'll happen? Do you think Brian Clausen was the last one?
I don't know. I don't know. Honestly, I feel like a lot of it over the last few years is drivers see how much more money the NASCAR guys make versus IndyCar. So that's the kind of the path that they've all kind of ventured down. Because, I mean, to me, if IndyCar drivers made what NASCAR drivers made, Kyle Larson would be in IndyCar.
Yeah.
Full time. If you ask, if that's just my opinion. But Kyle Larson likes to go fast.
Right.
And I just feel like if the path was the same, I feel like he would have went that path.
Yeah. So you hear about all these stories about bringing money, right? So do you think that for IndyCar you have to bring money?
I think you do. I think you do.
Is that why we don't see more people do it? I mean, they have to be making decent money, right?
No, they do. They make decent money. Yeah, they just don't make what NASCAR drivers used to make. I don't know the comparison nowadays, but I know NASCAR guys don't make near what they used to. But back in the day, honestly, same thing with Jeff Gordon. I think if IndyCar paid the same as NASCAR, Jeff Gordon would have went down in the IndyCar path.
Yeah.
Jeff Gordon
he moved to
made multi more millions of dollars going down the NASCAR path than he did IndyCar because IndyCar drivers just didn't make that much money.
Well, and then you had the big breakup in Indy, right? Like you had the where it shut down. I was like, where are we going to go? You know what I mean? Like,
well, they had so
split.
IndyCar was kind of like where NASCAR was. I think a few years ago when they went into the next gen car, like kart was. Your budgets were, $20 million to go do a kart series. It wasn't sustainable.
Yeah.
Right.
And so when I think it was IRL,
yep,
right?
IRL,
okay.
Yep.
Okay. So when they kind of introduced their deal, like, okay, you could do a whole IndyCar deal for, I might be skewing the numbers here, but, 10 million.
Right.
Versus, 20 million.
Yeah.
And NASCAR was kind of in that same thing. Like, we can't sustain that. You don't see Tide on the side of a NASCAR for 30 races anymore.
Right. You see them one
it's
or
Tide,
two times.
it's Clorox, it's this, it's that. So their budgets, it just wasn't sustainable. So everything just got reduced. Like, the engineering side came way down, the testing came way down, the drivers weren't making $10 million a year anymore, and
you had
because
the
if
car
that
and
was
IRL that wouldn't work together either.
Well,
yeah,
but it saved IndyCar. It did because it didn't. There wasn't like teams just couldn't afford to do it anymore.
Yeah,
so now it's manageable.
But like you said,
but they don't make $10 million. The drivers don't.
Nope,
they don't.
If they could figure out a way to do it, there's so many guys that I'd love to go see run Indy.
Tony Stewart, of course they have guys ask him all the time, like, who's the best driver, and of course Kyle Larson gets thrown in his face a few times, and he's like, he made the comment the other day on an interview I saw. He's like, you know what, Ryan, dadgummit. He was talking about one of his late model races that he had at Eldora. Pablo.
Montoya.
Yeah.
Montoya.
He's like, dude, Montoya's never been in a late model before in his life. And we put him in a late model, show him how to start it. He goes out and he's like third quick.
Yeah.
He's like, there's just a lot of talent out there that if you give them the opportunity to go drive different things, like it would amaze people how quick other drivers could adapt.
Yeah.
Kyle's just been fortunate enough to be able to jump in different things and be in really good equipment every time he jumps into a different type of vehicle, and he's done a great job at it. But Tony was just like, there's a lot of great drivers out there that could jump in other types of cars and be really quick.
Yeah.
Right off the bat.
Yeah.
Tanner's watching.
Tanner's my boy, huh?
Tanner. He said
we get
Hasty
Tanner
Bake
to
is the only
Indy.
way to go.
That's hey.
He said 2026 repeat?
Oh yeah, for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, for sure.
We're still waiting for Tanner to like come back home because the show we did at his shop, we were going to do a recap of when he came back home
And get the last 20 minutes in.
Yeah, exactly. And he's come home, and then